right, so here are today's learning targets, and I'm going to read it, and I would invite you to read with me all together. I can use language and style appropriate to the audience, topic, and purpose. So there's a lot of big words in there. So we have I can use language and style. Does anyone know what style means? Have you heard that word before? Daniel?
I did. It's like type of styles like a dress, like this. What type of style of design?
Yes. So would you wear something different to a wedding than you would wear to a soccer game?
Yeah.
Would your style of clothes change?
Yeah.
Yes, in the same way, style with language is the way we talk. So I'm gonna write the way it can be we talk or the way we write. So I'll say talk or write. For example, if you're talking to your friend who plays soccer here? Anyone? So, Giancarlo, if you're talking to your friend at a soccer game, is that different than when you're talking in class? No? Or what if you're giving like a book report or something? Or think about like how you might talk at a soccer game and how it's different from how you would talk on a podcast. Oh, Catherine?
You would like if you were trying to talk to them across, you would try to like scream to them.
Yeah. So when you're doing a podcast, do you scream or cheer, or do you talk like more formally? Yeah. So in the same way that you would wear probably like a dress or a suit to a wedding, but you would wear like shorts and a t-shirt to a soccer game, when you write or when you talk, it's different. So it's a different style depending on your audience. So what is audience?
Like people.
Yeah, people.
Like people that are soccer game.
Okay, so when you're playing soccer, who's the audience?
The people
The people who are doing what? Playing or watching?
watching.
Watching, right? So when you're doing your podcast, who is the audience? Who?
People that are hearing.
Yes, the people who are listening to it. So the audience is like the people who read or listen. So if you're talking to your friend, you would talk differently at a soccer game than if you were talking on your podcast. So because it's a different audience and a different purpose. What is purpose? Think of like author's purpose.
Like what they do, like
You push someone, then and they say like you did it like on purpose.
Oh yes, that's a place you've heard that word before. If you do it on purpose, that tells you the reason you did it, right? Like if you push someone on purpose, it's different than pushing them by accident. So purpose answers the question of why. So your purpose of doing the podcast might be different than your purpose when you talk to a friend at a soccer game, right? So let's read it together one more time. Can you guys read with me? I can use language and style appropriate to the audience, topic, and purpose. And I forgot to go over one word. This word appropriate, what does that mean? Does anyone know?
Like
Daniel?
like something appropriate that you could watch, or something inappropriate that you couldn't watch.
Yeah, so stuff can be inappropriate or appropriate. So if it's appropriate to your audience, does that mean like it matches with your audience, like it goes with your audience, or it doesn't? It goes with your audience, right? So it kind of fits your audience. We'll use fits. You know, like it fits your audience. You would talk in that way to your audience. Okay, so now we get to the fun part, which is what we're doing our podcast about today. So there is a new word here, cognates. Can you say it? Cognates. And we're going to talk about what a cognate is. Before I go over this, I want to show you two words, photograph, can you say photograph?
Photograph.
And fotografia.
Photografía.
What do you guys notice about these two words?
One is
Daniel?
in English and one is in Spanish.
Yeah, one's in English and one's in Spanish. And there's something more. What else do you notice about photograph and fotografia? Or like cereal or cereal? John Carlin?
They are almost the same thing.
Yes, they're almost the same things. So cognates are two words in different languages that are very similar or the same. But that's a lot to write, so I just put some examples of cognates. So can you guys read this with me? This is what we're doing today on the podcast. I can discuss how cognates can help me understand the meaning of new words using sentence frames. There's one word I forgot to highlight in here. Who can guess what word we're going to talk about out of these four? Which one do you think we're going to talk about, John Carlo? What one's like the trickiest word out of the first four words?
The third one.
The third one, yeah. So that word is discuss. Do you guys know what discuss means? Catherine?
When you like are like talking,
Mhm.
when you're talking to like Miss King is talking to another teacher, you're discussing what you're gonna do for the next class.
Excellent. And I loved how you used a complete sentence with that. So discuss is like talking about something. So today you get to talk about cognates. And by the time you leave today, you're going, well, maybe after lunch, but you're going to be able to answer these questions. Cognate, or you're going to be able to fill in the blank. Cognates are blank, so you're going to be able to say what a cognate is. Can you read these with me? Cognates are blank. An example of cognates is blank. Cognates can help us because blank. So this is what we're learning about today. And so we're going to get started for the next few minutes working on our next podcast. All right.